one of the commonest problem in diabetes, and today we're going to see what is the reason behind delayed wound healing in diabetes and the ways to manage it. Hi, this is Dr. Venugopal, yoga and naturopathy consultant and a diabetes researcher. Wound healing, right? So our skin and the muscles are the barriers between our body and to the external environment. So whenever there is a cut or a wound, it becomes a direct entry point for the bacteria and the microorganisms to enter our body. Now, in diabetes, there are three major mechanisms which gets affected, which is leading to delayed wound healing. The first and foremost of it is circulation. Reduction in circulation means most probably or more commonly the areas which gets affected are your feet and your fingers, on your toe fingers. So these are the parts where we have the tiniest of blood vessels ending. When from your heart, when the blood vessels are coming out, it comes as relatively bigger arch of aorta and the related blood vessels. What happens is the size of the blood vessels is relatively bigger when it emerges from heart. From your heart, it comes down to your abdomen and again divides to both your legs and moving down to your feet and to the toe fingers. By the time it reaches your toe fingers, the size of your blood vessels becomes very, very minimal, right? So what happens is, whenever there is thickening of blood vessels, so naturally the first blood vessels to get affected are the blood vessels from your toe fingers. So in diabetes, what happens is this thickening or the narrowing of blood vessels leads to reduced circulation. So naturally, whenever there is a reduced circulation, there is also a reduced oxygenation happening at that specific point. And the third thing here is your increased blood sugar levels or a hypoglycemia actually acts as a breeding ground for bacteria to grow. Bacteria or any microorganisms to grow. Just like we are growing any microorganisms or bacteria in a laboratory setup, we generally give sugar solution or whatever different solution, but sugar acts as a very good medium in which bacteria grows. So naturally, because of the elevated blood sugar levels, bacteria tend to multiply at a faster rate, leading to increased chances of infection, not just in the local area, but also on the body on the whole, resulting in septicemia and other things. And naturally, one more mechanism what you could attribute it to is reduced functionality of your WBC. Now, WBC plays a major role in kind of wound healing or any other inflammatory process in the body. So what researchers tell us is the interleukins act in a slightly different way in someone with diabetes. So these are the natural or the common ways through which wound healing is delayed in diabetes. Now, what is the solution for it? What can we do exactly to reduce the chance of wound or to increase wound healing capacity or the rate of wound healing? The first and foremost thing is the preventive measures. Now, preventive measures starts from checking your feet every day. If you have diabetes, please do check your feet every day, because even the tiniest cut or any discomfort over there or any sores over there, it should be visually checked because of the loss of sensation due to neuropathy. Again, diabetes, neuropathies of different types. Few might feel the pins and needle sensation in diabetes, few might feel pain in their feet in diabetes, and few will not even be able to feel any sensation in your feet. So do not depend exclusively on the sensation or the discomfort in your feet. The actual thing is, it's better to check it visually every day in the morning. And second thing is, after taking bath, try to pat it dry. Keep your feet dry before applying any moisturizer if required or needed. A moisturizer is good, but before applying moisturizer on your feet, please make sure and ensure it is completely dry, so that the warmth and the humidity doesn't increase the breeding of the bacteria, right? And the third thing to do was physical activity. Physical activity definitely helps in improving the circulation, but please make sure, if you have any pressure ulcers, do not go for walking. Now, walking actually aggravates the pressure source, and also increases the wound, the depth of the wound, and so many problems. It can spread all the way till osteomyelitis. So at all costs, avoid walking whenever you are having any foot ulcers. So instead what you can do is do yoga practices, do simple stretches and pranayamas, especially Kapalbhati and Brahmari and Nadi Shodhana. These would be very much beneficial, especially Nadi Shodhana and Brahmari. It increases your nitric oxide secretion. So what nitric oxide actually does is it dilates your blood vessels. So naturally whenever your blood vessels are dilated, it increases wound healing first thing, and Nadi Shodhana as such, it would help in increasing oxygenation. And when coming to the dietary part, beetroot again, it is rich in nitric oxide and it increases the vasodilatory capacity, right? So when we are taking a beetroot is beneficial one, and please do not worry about the glycemic index, the amount of sugar and all these things, because it is rich in fiber. First and foremost, the amount of fiber present in beetroot is better than an apple, and the amount of glucose or the sugar present in beetroot is much lesser than what it is in apple. So it's a relatively healthy option, I mean, even to the standards of the apple. So you can very well have beetroot, which is very much beneficial in improving the wound healing capacity of the body. And most important thing, please make sure your blood sugar levels are under control to ensure the wound healing gets better. Fine. So that's what we saw today. Why wound healing is delayed in diabetes and ways to manage it and prevent it. So stay tuned for more such informative and interesting facts and videos on diabetes on our 100 days and 100 ways to defeat diabetes challenge. Thank you.